From here, we'll come to a quad stretch, opposed to lengthen the tissues across the front of the thigh. So variations, let's say the most gentle version would be cat pulling its tail, which would necessitate you coming to your belly. And like Monica and Brian are showing, you'd bring your right leg out to the side, almost like a frog with a bent knee like Brian, or you could have a straight leg like Monica. Either way, you'll reach back with your left or right hand for your left foot or ankle, and then pull towards you as much leverage as you need to have useful stress in the top of your left thigh. You can rest on your forehead or your ear or on your arm. Some of your bodies will like saddle pose, which can be on as many props as you need. A lot of bodies will like a blanket or a towel under the top of the foot for the ankle, or even between the calf and the thigh for the knee joint. You can also sit, like Melody's doing, on a blanket so that she has a little space for her hips, her sacrum, and her knees. And blocks, bolsters, pillows, whatever you have available to support you so that the stress in the top of the thigh and the low back is present, but enough so that there's useful stress while you can relax. If you have a lot of range of motion, you could come all the way down without any props, like Ivy, and if you need nothing under your back, you could add things like she's added a side bend to this pose. Could also bend the extended right foot and knee and put the foot on the ground, gives you a little more leverage. So play with where your arms and legs want to be in space as levers to stimulate your hips, your spine, and your shoulders. And settle into whatever place you've landed. And breathe down into deep stimulation, deep sensations in the thigh, the hips, the low back. Most of the yin postures stimulate in these places, and so we really encourage that downward breath into the low belly, this Tandiyan or Hari breath. Let's take 3 more in and out of whichever place your body is chosen to be. And if you're in a bilateral pose, like Melody, you can stay. Otherwise, without slingshotting, you can let go of that back leg, or you can bring yourself through seated to the other side. Take your time as you re-extend the right leg. You might want to be neutral on your belly for a moment. We'll eventually move to the other side. So cat pulling its tail, the left knee will come out like a frog. And we'll reach our left or right hand back for the opposite ankle, the right one. Resting the forehead or the ear on the earth. Knee can be bent once again, or like Monica's showing, you can straighten it moving more towards splits. And the farther up she goes, the more leverage she's going to have to bring stress, to bring rich stimulation to the quadricep muscles. Ivy's showing the same pose on the second variation, keeping that heaviness energy in the thighs and legs. So the knees don't need to be on the earth. They can be together, they can be apart, they can be up. What's significant, what's relevant in this, like any pose that stimulates the knee, is there's nothing electric, nothing sharp, nothing painful. Discomfort's okay though. In fact, in most yoga shapes, we're looking to get awkward or uncomfortable. That's how you know you're doing it right. And then breathe into that. It's in these places we really get to kind of see and meet ourselves. When we get awkward, when we get uncomfortable, something about who we are and how we handle that surfaces. So stay curious. What's showing up for you in this pose? Because this is deep in the stomach, spleen meridians at the top of the thigh, you might feel a little bit of the fire, the heat associated with digestion. Take 3 more cool breaths down into sensations in the top of the thigh and in the low back in the kidneys. After your third breath, let's take 3 more. Notice if you had any tendency to be in a hurry. Where would you go? So much of this practice is just about being present with what is. Notice how your breath keeps you present in that way. As you inhale, washing over sensations like water, smoothing rough edges, and as you exhale like water, let the breath pour out of your vessel. Just take 1 more in and out of this shape. And after your next inhale, if you've got the foot, let it go without slingshotting. You can just come back to the belly and rest, or re-extend that left leg. If you're in this half saddle, you could roll over onto the extended leg side and bring the back knee around, or like Melody will show, you might need to slowly work yourself up and out. It's a good place to sigh or moan as you move to child's pose or down dog, or like Brian's showing, just come forward and rest on your belly. And sighs, moans, sounds are always welcome as we come out of these shapes.